you always want to do everything perfectly. You are looking for every little mistakes in and pay attention to every single detail, and you don't publish that video. You don't start that project. You don't post the script because it's not good enough yet. Because you're not good enough yet. You don't have enough competence to do that yet, right? You're not good right now. So you need to work more on it. And you do it because you are a perfectionist. Because you are someone who do stuff well. You cannot afford to do mistakes, right? Use this statement as a sign of pride. You put it like a badge, like a rosette. The truth is that you're not a perfectionist, that you're not someone who has an incredible work ethic. You're just a neurotic. What does that mean? That means that the reason that you want to do everything optimally isn't because you're immensely conscientious. It's because you cannot bear the idea of facing criticism or that someone might not compliment you upon the work that you just did. You simply are afraid of experiencing negative emotions. You cannot bear the idea of someone not liking what you just have done. You cannot imagine someone look at your work and saying, maybe you should improve it. Maybe that work isn't just as good as you can possibly do it. Why? Because you're looking at the evaluation of your work as an evaluation of yourself. And if someone tells that your work is not good enough, it's like saying that you are not good enough. Because that's what you're thinking about yourselves, right? And if someone confirms what actually you think deep inside you, that would hurt you a lot. But the point is that by avoiding criticism and avoiding putting the reps in, trying, experimenting, it's hindering your growth because you're not getting simply enough input. You're you don't you're not having enough repetition in order to get better. You are not exposing yourself to the feedback loop necessary in order to improve. There was an experiment in a photography class. They divided the class into two groups. The first group would be evaluated upon one single photograph, and the other group will be evaluated upon the total numbers of photographies that they would have made. At the end of the semester, the students had taken the best photos overall, talking about quality, were those in the second cohort of people, the students that made more photos in like an absolute number. How is that possible? They did a lot of photos, they don't maybe not even paid attention that much to what they were doing. They were simply starting to do a lot of volume, a lot of freaking photos, because they had more experience, they practiced more, they experimented with the light, the focus of the camera, with the distance, with the shadows and all of that shit. I don't know much about photography. The point is, they were able to understand better what it takes to make a great quality photo because they experienced more photos, they experienced different settings about that compared to the students that were looking for the perfect shot. You shouldn't try to do a performance, do your best. You should try to learn, to discover, to experiment, and see after that you have a series of experience, a series of data, then you can see what works, what don't work, and how to adjust it, especially when you have external feedback. And when you're trying to avoid mistakes or criticism, it's just something to protect your ego. It's not something that you do in order to get better and improve in your craft. Let me tell you something from one neurotic person to another neurotic person. It's not about you, it's about your product, it's about your craft, it's about what you want to do, what you want to achieve. And when people are criticizing you, they're not criticizing you, they're criticizing your product. They're criticizing what you're trying to achieve, and they're giving you hints upon what you have to improve in order to reach those level of perfection of good enough that you really want to reach. In the end, in the beginning, it's difficult. I understand. You might feel hurt, but this is necessary. Feeling a little bit of discomfort in your soul, in your internal world, is necessary in order for you to build what you dreamt of. Is necessary for achieving that standard that you set for yourself. And it might be uncomfortable in the beginning, but you will get used to it. You will be able to bear all of the criticism and the negative emotion that will come around it, but they will repay. Because avoiding negative emotion now is just um, it's an immediate gratification that will not lead you to that big reward that you're looking in the future. Aim upward and keep searching for strength.